Hannah Parker, 34, navigated downtown Boston in her beige cardigan and comfortable shoes. After 14 years of marriage to tech innovator Michael Parker, she wanted to surprise him by reserving a table at the Crystal Palace for their anniversary. The same place they'd had their first date when Michael was just a promising engineer and Hannah taught art at the community center. Fresh from her pottery class, clay still beneath her fingernails, Hannah entered the elegant restaurant. Victoria, the matron, swept her eyes over Hannah's casual appearance with narrowing disapproval. "I'd like to make a reservation for next Friday," Hannah said warmly. "I'm afraid we're fully booked for the next 3 months, madam," Victoria replied dismissively. Before Hannah could respond, Richard Hammond, a flashy real estate developer, approached. "Victoria, my usual table isn't prepared properly," he complained, ignoring Hannah completely. Hammond glanced at Hannah dismissively. "I thought this establishment had standards. Since when do we let just anyone walk in off the street?" Hannah straightened her shoulders. "I'm only trying to make a reservation for next week, not dine tonight." "Listen," Hammond interrupted. "This isn't some casual diner. People wait months for reservations. They dress appropriately." When Hannah persisted, the manager Elaine approached. "Madam, I must ask you to leave. You're disturbing our guests. Is this how you treat all potential customers, or just the ones who don't arrive in designer clothes?" Hannah challenged. "We have the right to refuse service to anyone who doesn't meet our establishment standards," Elaine replied coldly. Hannah tried several times to explain who her husband was, but was repeatedly interrupted. "My husband is, let me guess," Elaine smirked, "someone very important." "We hear that quite often." Hannah was escorted out. As she stood outside, humiliated, a sleek black Porsche 911 glided to a stop. Michael had arrived. Michael Parker entered in his midnight blue tuxedo, his eyes finding Hannah outside. "I'm meeting my wife," he told Victoria. "Parker." "Michael Parker." Victoria's smile faltered. "Your wife was here. Blonde hair, beige cardigan, probably mentioned our anniversary," Michael said, his voice edged with steel. Michael opened the door for Hannah. "Everything all right?" "Not exactly," Hannah replied steadily. Elaine approached quickly. "Is there a problem?" "Yes. I understand my wife was just asked to leave your establishment," Michael said calmly. "We have certain standards for our guests," Elaine explained. Hammond chimed in. "The woman was causing a disturbance. Some people simply don't know how to behave." Michael turned slowly. "And you are?" "Richard Hammond. I'm something of a regular here." "I see. And you felt it necessary to involve yourself in how the restaurant treated my wife," Michael said, his tone deceptively conversational. Hannah Parker, co-founder of the Parker Innovation Foundation, board member of the Boston Museum of Modern Art, and the woman who just wanted to make a dinner reservation. The silence was absolute. Thomas, the young server who had escorted Hannah out, spoke up. Mrs. Parker tried to explain who she was, but she was interrupted. She mentioned her husband, but no one listened. Michael addressed Hammond. "What exactly do you believe makes someone worthy of respect?" Hammond blustered about standards and privileges. "My wife works with children who have nothing. She teaches art to help them express trauma they can't put into words," Michael replied. "She chooses to dress practically because her work is about substance, not appearance." "It's really okay," Hannah said softly. "It's not okay, Hannah. Not just because of you, but because of how many others they've probably treated this way," Michael said. An elderly couple rose from their table. "You are absolutely right," the woman said. "We won't be returning." Thomas removed his server's jacket. "I quit. I can't support this anymore." As they prepared to leave, Elaine made one desperate plea. "Your reservation for your anniversary. We would be honored to host you. Complimentary, of course." Michael paused. "The purpose of our anniversary dinner was to celebrate love, growth, and values that matter. I'm afraid those values are incompatible with what this establishment represents." Outside, Thomas caught up with them. "I'd like to thank you for standing up. Not just for Mrs. Parker, but for all the others. Join us for dinner," Hannah offered. "We know a wonderful little Italian place where they judge the food, not the guests." 3 weeks later, Hannah and Michael celebrated their anniversary at Community Table, a pay-what-you-can restaurant representing everything they believed in. Thomas, now funded by the Parker Innovation Foundation, was developing accessible arts programs. Victoria had reached out repeatedly to apologize, working to change. Everyone deserves a chance to grow. Hannah said that as they left under emerging stars. Michael said, 14 years, and you still help me see the world more clearly. That night reminded me that we're all constantly making choices about what we value, Hannah replied. Those choices reveal who we truly are. Some transformations happen dramatically. Others occur quietly through reflection. But all meaningful change begins with recognizing that true worth can never be determined by appearances alone.